some of the things we look at in relationships, and I guess in the vetting process of trying to find someone and all this, it's a little bit superficial. Is that the word I'm looking for? Superficial? Maybe that's it. But here's the thing. So, and I've watched this like over and over, especially in the times I've been on like dating sites and things like that. Which, honestly, I'm not saying they're no good, but I don't know. I'll be honest with you. I prefer the idea of somebody you already know, or you meet someone, whatever, and it just kind of goes there. I prefer that. And in a way, I've always preferred that, because I think that's been kind of how my relationships and connections and so forth have been made, primarily. Not to say I haven't made connections online, but typically, you meet somebody, you're friends with them, that type of thing. You know, one of the other things, for instance, that we get very caught up on, especially as men, is don't get yourself friend zoned and blah blah blah, and don't become. Let's if you look at some statistics, there's a great number of marriages and relationships that actually come from friendships. Surprise, surprise. I wonder why. I just feel like we really overthink this thing. Seriously overthink it. So for the guys, and women too, don't be so worried about being friend zoned, quote unquote. That's not always a bad thing. If anything, you are actually being given a better opportunity, because you're getting to know the person in a way that would really behoove you if y'all do end up getting into a relationship, or going there, quote unquote, at some point. Let's see, what else have I got? We look at a lot of silly things like height, weight. I mean, I do feel like there's realistic things, but I think sometimes the standard could be a little bit more open. Race, whether a person's bald or not. I just find it very fascinating, the stuff we look at. I remember at one point I thought to myself, well, I don't know if I could date anybody much taller, because I'm a short guy already. Like, I'm 5'6". Okay, I'm 5'5" and 3/4. All right, whatever. That's beyond the point, okay? But at the end of the day, the way I look at it, why am I going to disqualify somebody taller than me if we have a good connection, if it's somebody that I like, if you get what I'm saying? It don't make sense. We could talk about race. Like, I've seen that one, especially on the dating sites. Black men only, white men only. Some people really do not like to date out of their race, which I'm not. You know, that's your preference. Me personally, I honestly have a Bullworth philosophy. And if you don't know what the Bullworth philosophy is, you need to go watch Bullworth with Warren Beatty and Holly Berry from 1998. And there's an infamous interview where he talks about blacks and whites doing their thing. It is great. I love it. It's I saw it as a kid, and I kind of based. That's a little bit of my philosophy. I'm not against, like I said, I'm not against it. It's totally up to the person, but I do feel like people should be a little bit more open. My opinion. You're losing. Let me say why it's my opinion. How about this? You lose a lot of good opportunities because you don't give various men opportunities or various women opportunities because they're too big, they're too small, they're too tall, they're too short, they're too this, they're too white, they're too black, they're too Christian, they're too not, they're whatever. Like, there's so many like stupid little pieces that we vet people on that are so irrelevant. Because the truth is, guess what? We're all going to get old if we live long enough, and we're not even going to look the same anyway in 30 years. Unless you're Tom Jones, that's different. He's aged pretty well, seriously. He looks his age now, but for a long time, like, dude, it's Tom Jones. Anyway, the whole point, Jennifer Lopez. Do I need to keep going? My point is, most of the time, we're not even going to look the same anyway. So what does it matter? Now, yeah, your race is not going to change. Your height is probably not going to change. If anything, your height's probably going to decrease because most of us shrink over time. Hulk Hogan used to be 6'7". Now I think he's 6'3", I think, if I'm not mistaken. So, look, all I'm saying is maybe we should be a little bit more open-minded when it comes to dating, when it comes to who we could get involved with. I think we should be a little bit more open-minded, and I think we should be a little bit more patient as well. Don't rush stuff. Don't push it. Just let things flow. Let things happen. And let God do what He's going to do in your life with whoever it's going to be with. And enjoy the ride. Enjoy the process. That would be my advice. But overall, be more open. Don't restrict yourself to the point where you're just losing all of these great opportunities because you're too narrow-minded. Yeah, that's all I got. Yeah. Yeah, that's all I got.